Hello, guys. I want to discuss ghostwriting. So, I was on social media as where I get a lot of my inspiration to have some talking points on my channel. They were discussing James Patterson's latest comments, and I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to focus on one tweet in particular that kind of some other people agreed that the author uses a ghostwriter, and they made comment on it that was almost like a slight that he uses a ghostwriter, so it's a bad thing. So let's discuss to use a ghostwriter or not to use a ghostwriter. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Oh, let me back up. For those who don't know, a ghostwriter is a person who writes. We'll focus on novels for right now. Who writes a book, a fiction book, without recognition. So you pay this person. I pay Jamila to write Strange Things Away, and then I put my name on it. So I don't put that person's name on it. I put my name on it, and they, most of the time, almost all the time, I'm going to talk about it later as well, sign a NDA. So sign a non-disclosure agreement. So this person cannot tell anyone that they were paid to write this book. They have no rights to the book at all. So if my book ends up being, on a New York's best time sellers list, and someone buys my subsidiary rights, however you pronounce it, and a TV show is made from the book, that person still cannot say, oh, I wrote the book, I was a part of that, or, oh, I want some more money. You can't do that. And I have not seen in the publishing community any crazy pop-ups, like the person popping up at the wedding, like, he was with me, and then over here trying to blow up the whole wedding. I haven't seen any ghostwriters, any stories about a ghostwriter who come out the woods and say, oh, no, it was me, it wasn't them. This is a very used profession. It's a highly marketable profession. You definitely are not going to be spending pennies for a ghostwriter, but that's what a ghostwriter is. And I personally don't see an issue with ghostwriters. So a ghostwriter you can give them an outline, and then they take it away, they write the book based on your outline, or you can collaborate, and you're writing, they're writing, you're writing the book simultaneously. There are different ways it can be done, and either way it's done, I don't see a problem with it. In general, I don't see a problem with it, but as a newbie author, I wouldn't immediately go for a ghostwriter, if that makes sense. You should definitely do your best to write your own book. And if you need maybe like time restraint, maybe if you need some assistance from a ghostwriter to get something finished, if you're on a tight deadline, I get it. And I think this is where most ghostwriters come in with traditionally published books. No one should believe that an author is publishing 10 books a year by themselves, or even if it's less than that, 5 books or 3 books in a year, they're writing that much. I don't believe it. Some authors might say, oh yeah, I write a lot, I write fast. I don't get no help. No one's helping me to write this book. I don't have a ghostwriter. I don't have anyone else on my team writing the book or coaching me along or just giving me ideas and telling me to do this, to do that. I think it still kind of counts. If you have somebody on your team that's telling you, that's almost giving you an outline or anything, you're being helped a lot. So someone who's writing full-time might be able to push out 1 book a year, 2 books a year. I know I was able to write my book in under a year. So I can believe it. But if it's dogs. Hey, y'all stop making all that noise. Got my dogs with me in my office today. They're gonna be making a whole lot of noise. So I personally, I will only use a ghostwriter if it's like a tight deadline type of situation. If you maybe are really pushing to get certain things out because you have a TV or a movie deal, or the publisher is really saying, look, use this person because we want this out and you're struggling. Get this book out. Let's get it moving. I could see a publishing company kind of pushing for that maybe. I could see that. But I would myself, even though I'm not traditionally published. So self-published authors, any authors, you guys also, if you can afford it, you can use a ghostwriter. And there are many freelance sites. You just have to be careful, read their work, really read more than one sample. Plenty. Hey, you don't hear me? Nemo, be quiet. Be quiet. Gosh, my dog is crazy. He's crazy. Now where was I? There are plenty of sites that you can use that are less expensive, but please, you get what you pay for. Make sure you're using someone that's giving you samples you can really read, and don't make a very large order at one time, because sometimes people can give samples, but that's not really their work. So maybe a chapter at a time, or say, oh, okay, I don't use you, but let's do 10,000 words for this first order, or let's do 3 chapters, or whatever you feel comfortable. If it ends up being a loss, you feel kind of comfortable with that deep pocket lesson. So I would say no more than 3 chapters for the first time you're using someone, just so you can see, is that writing style really theirs, or did they copy it from somewhere else? What else about ghostwriters? Using them also, not just what was I about to say? Shoot. The payment. Maybe this is why I need to stop doing these videos willy-nilly. I need to write some notes down, because my mind just went blank. I blamed it on my dog. My dog went crazy, so my mind blanked out. But yeah, I already knew, like, certain authors who publish a lot must have a ghostwriter, and it doesn't bother me, because I'm hoping that the author is very involved, giving an outline, even if it's not chapter by chapter, notes by notes. I do a lot of details with, I remember what I was thinking of. Okay. I'll get to that later. I really am very detailed. So I have my settings. I have so much information before I start writing. So if you have a whole lot of information and you have things plotted out, pointed out, but not like scene by scene, that's still, to me, good. You're good. I like that aspect. I don't want an author to use a ghostwriter and they have no say. They're not giving their touch, because a ghostwriter should be, and usually is, very well adaptable. It's like a chameleon, can really take your ideas and your world and just write it. It's almost like you're giving them everything and they're just typing it up for you. That, I'm more comfortable with that based on my authors. You know, if I find out any of my authors that I really enjoy, it's not them, it's not their voice, it's not them, I am gonna have an issue with it. It will hurt a little that I was a big fan, but I'm not a fan of yours, I'm a fan of somebody else's. Does that make sense? Because if it's your work and your voice and they're just typing it up and maybe adding a little thing here and there, that's fine. But I'll feel so cheated. I'll feel crushed if I find out that they just say, oh, read these books. I wrote book 1, 2, and 3. You just read those and you continue on. I think maybe the next one will be, the murderer will be the doctor who performed the C-section when the child was first born and whatever, and caused him to have an injury, and now he's out for revenge. Blames the doctor, you know, for all his life troubles. If you just give the idea, give the plot, give the basics, the little bones, but then that's it, that's all, and you say, okay, go ahead and write the story for me, I have a problem with that. Because you should have your voice involved. You should be writing some things yourself. You should be doing plot points. You should be saying this is important, this and this, giving information. You should be involved. And if you're not, I'm disappointed. Very disappointed. Okay, so what I was forgetting, blanking out, I'll wrap this up because I know y'all don't like long videos. I'll wrap this up. What I was thinking of is the case of if someone loses out on their series. You all probably know certain authors, it happened to maybe not, well, probably happened to many, but I just don't know a lot of them. I just know about 2 popular authors. So this happens where you have one writer for a series, and then the writer changes for the rest. The one writer that started the books for a couple of books, and then now all of a sudden it's a new writer. I don't like that. I don't like that. And maybe it's because I'm an author and I'm viewing this more so as a slight. I would be pretty heated if I'm writing my series. This is all my work, all my ideas, and I'm writing this book. And then next thing I know, the publisher, whoever is in charge of these decisions, decides to go with somebody else to finish. And I have no idea how that happens. I need to I need to look this up. Really need to look that up. Because I don't understand how that can happen. I can see if maybe you sell your book rights and all this other stuff to the publisher. And then maybe if you die, depending on which type of contract you sign, maybe there could be somebody else that continues the book. But it would be weird if they do something like that, but they continue putting deceased author's name on the book, but not the new author. That'll be weird. But even if they put the new author's name on it, when it comes to a series, it almost feels to me like that person is still like a ghost. It's a ghostwriter. It's not a ghostwriter, but they're still another person. It's not the same author. I don't want the book. I don't know how that's possible, because I know it happened before where let me Google the series I'm talking about before I say the name and I make a mistake. Books. Oh no, okay, no, that's the thing. I don't want that one. I ain't want that one. Alright, what's the? Oh, okay. Let's see, more than one author. More than one author. No, okay. I cannot find it. Can't find it. I'll have to look this up for another video. Books where author Okay, I have no idea what Google's talking about. No idea what Google's talking about. I can't find it, so I'll look it up so we can talk about this in a different video. But yeah, those are my my thoughts. I don't have a problem with ghostwriters. Don't have a problem with using them in the future personally. And then for the industry, it is what it is. I was under no illusion that these authors who are pushing out multiple books in a year don't have a ghostwriter. To me, it's just normal in the publishing community, in the publishing world. The only issue I would have, again, would be if the author has no input. No input, is not involved in most of every single step. You have to have your hands involved, or as a reader, I'm going to feel cheated. And I want my money back. So, you all tell me in the comments your thoughts. How you feel? Would you use a ghostwriter, authors, or if you are just a reader, are you okay with your favorite author having a book written by a ghostwriter? Because I doubt we know. We don't know. Author can write 5 books and then end up having 3-4 books written by a ghostwriter. How do we know? Unless they just not that good, and I don't know. Let's discuss it.